What I'm attempting to do tonight is to demonstrate some various styles of speaking that might not be Toastmaster approved. But I speak about 100 times a year to corporations all over the world, and I've noticed that of the last 10 speeches I've done, 9 of them are different when you get there. The timing is different. The staging is different. There is a podium. There isn't a podium. There isn't a lavalier mic. There's a handheld mic. There's no mics at all. There's no house lights. You're too far away from the audience. And you have to adapt your speech and your content and your style, because no one thing really works time after time after time. The most dramatic thing that happens is that when you're negotiating with a client, they might say, well, I want an hour and 20 minutes. And I want it at 9 to 10:15 in the morning. And it needs to be this, this, and this. And then when you get there, they got the president, he speaks for 20 minutes. And you don't get on till 9:30, but you still got to wrap it up by 10:15. Because there are 15 or 20 breakout speakers that do that. So there's different ways of doing it. When I started earlier this evening, I brought out a book and I read from the book. Sometimes you do that, sometimes you don't. Put the book back on the podium, pick up another book, use it, and don't read from it. So there's all kinds of different ways in which you can do that. I'm working on a new speech that I wanted to try and do tonight, because this is a very magical year for Kay and I. My wife, we've been married for 40 years this year. I took her on a cruise to Alaska this summer, and I said, sweetie pie, you've got to do something magical, and she disappeared. But I noticed that as I got older, as I am getting older on my runway of life, that my perception and my outlook on life changes. And so I've really come to the conclusion, what is it about life? What is the meaning of life? And so this is my meaning of life. On the first day, God created the dog, and God said, sit all day by the door of your house and bark at anyone who comes by, and I'll give you a lifespan of 20 years. The dog said, that's too long to be barking, give me 10 years back, and I'll give you the other 10 back, and God agreed. On the second day, God created the monkey, and God said, entertain people, do monkey tricks, make them laugh, and I'll give you a 20-year lifespan. And the monkey said, I don't think so. Monkey tricks for 20 years? No way. I'm going to give you back 10, just like the dog gave you back 10, and God said, okay. On the third day, God created the cow. God said, you must go out into the field with the farmer all day long, suffer under the sun, have calves, give milk. Got to support the farming, got to support the family. And I'm going to give you a lifespan of 60 years. And the cow said, that's kind of a tough life. You don't want to live for 60 years. Let me have 20 years, and I'll give you back the other 40. And God agreed. On the fourth day, God created man. And God said, eat, sleep, play, enjoy your life. I'll give you 20 years. The man said, what, are you kidding? Only 20 years? I tell you what I'll do. I'll take the 20, add the 40 the cow gave you back, the 10 the monkey gave you back, the 10 the dog gave you back, and that makes 80. And God agreed. So that's why the first 20 years of our lives, we eat, sleep, play, and enjoy ourselves. For the next 40 years, we slave in the sun to support our family. For the next 10 years, we do monkey tricks to entertain the grandchildren. And for the last 10 years, we sit on the front porch and bark at everyone that goes home. That's really life. Now that's not a bad way to figure out where the holes are in an audience. From 200 to 2,000 to 5,000. And so my style is, I want to know if they're with me. Because the responsibility of a speaker, it's up to you to energize and get that audience's attention. It's not up to them, it's up to you. And so I generally start my speeches with some humor, with some jokes, for me to settle me down, and so that I can see where the weaknesses are in the audience. So there might be a group up here that are not paying attention to me, but when I've done that story and everybody's laughing, they'll snap to attention. Another way to get someone's attention is just to stop speaking. If they're doing something else, they'll, what happened? He's gone. So you pick up these things as you go along. So here's part of a speech. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Well, let me tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that my wife of 40 years might leave me. I'm afraid that one or more of my children will get sick, will be in a car accident, will get the H1N1 flu. I'm afraid that something might happen to one of my grandchildren, Kate or Benjamin. I'm afraid I might lose my voice, being unable to speak and do the variety telephone. I'm afraid that my company might not survive the worldwide economic downturn and the Canadian recession. I'm afraid I might have to lay off some of my staff. I'm afraid I might have to lose my health and the cancer that I once had 10 years ago returns. I'm afraid I won't have enough money to live on when I retire. I'm afraid I might not realize the completion of my dreams. You see, I think I'm worried and scared of exactly the same things that you're worried about. But the biggest concern for me is my dreams. Because if you have no dreams,